Hello and welcome to Kindred High Tide. I got asked by the dev to check out their game and it seemed like a very interesting game. It's basically a detective horror visual novel where you are tasked to investigate a sea-bound anomaly. And what drew me in is that the dev said that this was inspired by the likes of SCP, which definitely piqued my interest because I very much enjoy the SCP universe, so let's start a new game and see where this game takes us. Deafening crack of thunder jolts you back into the present. Harsh rain pours down onto the deck of the ship, completely soaking your clothes and hair. Flash of light from a coming roar of faraway lightning bolt illuminates your face in the darkness of night. You once more grab hold of the rope in front of you, pulling with all your might. Sleeping on a job again, hey boss? Younger voice calls over the whistling wind. Man who the voice belongs to appearing alongside you, clasping your back with a strong hand. Keep her steady now. You heard him. Second part of the inseparable duo appears alongside the younger shipmate, grabbing hold of his shoulder and leaning over him like an oversized hood. Granting your effort to keep a hold of the rope, burns from the rough material evident on your wet hands. Are the younger boys meant to be doing the heavy lifting? Thoughts are mellowed by another harsh sway of the ship, sparking a look of unease that passes between the two younger men. As they glance back your way, obviously in need of some assurance from a soldier more experienced, give them a reassuring nod. German crewman barks an order in their direction. It seems enough to spur them into action. Watch as they board away to their respective posts, yelling all the while for order. Something in the water catches your eye, a darkness more potent than that of the restless waves. You have no time at all to warn the others before the ship has been knocked to the side by a colossal wave. Yeah, that doesn't look like a wave, unless waves can take the form of a tentacle. Something long and sharp rises out of the water. There is the sound of a roaring beast, incomprehensible to the human mind in size, rising above the waves. Dread washes over you before suddenly vanishing at a touch of a hand on your shoulder, calm and steady to the ensuing storm. At the corner of your eye, Captain studies the beast with a steadfast confidence. Maybe you can help wrangle the beast from others to get a good shot. Okay, we're doing quick time event. I was not expecting that. Yeah, achievement for it. Pull just hard enough to get the beast into place. It's now or never. Mikhail speaks one word, loud enough for the entire crew to hear. Brace yourself knowing exactly what's to come. Fire. Battle cry, men firing cannon shots into the beast bigger and stronger than any they had ever known, let alone faced. Yet there was a cool, calm confidence radiating from the ship. With more than a few holes are ripped through the creature's slimy skin, cries of exertion are replaced by those of victory and cheer. It takes only a few more moments for the rest of the beast to sink beneath the waves. It's certainly not dead. I think it would take more than just a few cannon blasts to take it down. But deterred enough to let you sail in peace. This particular creature certainly won't be bothering your crew again. Yeah, unless we want to pass through here again, then we're kind of fucked, aren't we? Because we only just pissed it off. Unless it wants another barrage or sharpener and the pain that comes with it. Mikhail, captain of the 33rd Fleet of the Comet, but as you know him, sound leader and good friend, once again squeezes your shoulder. Nice work, my friend. Sure that thing will leave us alone now? All thanks to your lead. Thanks, but make sure to keep those two other knuckleheads in check next time. Now, we'll say this one. Kel gives a small shy chuckle. Never knowing how to react to proper compliments. I think it's part of what makes you captain, or your captain, a reliable and candid leader. His humble attitude infects the rest of the men, no matter how rambunctious or cocky. It's the trademark of a successful crew. Give him an encouraging smile to back up your kind words, and just like that, he bows his head and walks away to check out on the rest of the crew. Taking down the low-ranked creature you were sent to dispose of by the comet, maybe you earned a few days away from work. Daughter's waiting for you at home. Hope you won't keep her waiting much longer. With any luck, you'll be going home as soon as tomorrow. But for now, you should really get some rest. Pelting rain quiets down for a moment, allowing a blissful reprieve from the deafening thunder of 100 droplets meeting flesh and cloth. Definitely not melting, because that's what we call acid rain. And yeah, not a good type of thing. You feel your own coming on, and without much hesitation, you saw hands unclamp from the rope you'd been hanging on to like a lifeline. Wandering away from the ship's edge, you shuffle along Sultan, one planks and through the door to the sleeping quarters below deck. Hear the bustle of other fatigued men pulling into the hammock-filled space, each taking their own with snarky remarks and light-hearted jokes thrown about as they get comfortable. They jump at the sound of another commotion as Emmy and Kostya enter the room, once again fighting over which hammock they'll get to sleep in. You have half a mind to drag them to the opposite sides of the sleeping quarters, but the largely of your bones convinces you otherwise. Collapse onto your own bed, and not that it is anywhere close to a proper place to rest. It's comfortable enough for you. Anyone else have an extra blanket? Sound of a muffled hit and a yelp. Ow. Not exactly comfortable enough for most of the others. Despite the commotion, you find your eyes slipping shut. Peaceful rocking of the ship slowly lulls you to sleep. Groaning wooden plank jolts you from a dreamless slumber. What is it now? Rubbing the sleep from your eyes, you stretch tidily before turning in your hammock, serving the doorway to the sleeping quarters with half-closed eyes. Let me guess. The creature can seep into my nightmares now? Dull thud catches your attention. Frowning, you strain your ears. Comes again. Definitely from the deck. Debate whether or not it's worth going to check. You really do need your sleep, but maybe it's one of your crew. But then again, maybe it isn't. Oh, we get a choice here now. I say fuck it. Let's go up onto the deck. What could possibly go wrong, right? Barely a sound, you lower your feet onto the solid floor and creep past your bunkmates, snores weaving together like some ragged midnight opera. I was thinking, I thought I seen butt cheeks there. I was like, oh, am I just walking out to the deck completely naked? I mean, it can definitely be used as a distraction of sorts. If the creature's gonna give me a nightmare, might as well give them a nightmare back, you know? You keep a sharp eye on the doorway, waiting for some horrific thing to pop up on the other side. Nothing comes. At the exit, you steal a glance behind you, then slip silently up the staircase towards the deck. Push the last door open through gritted teeth, sailing in relief as the dry night air wraps around you. Seeing the storm has passed you by for now. It's Despite this, it is still eerily dark. Full moon shines brightly on your sole figure, casting a lengthy shadow that follows your every step. You think for a moment you're completely alone. Then, a dark figure in your peripheral catches your eye. I mean, they look human, so maybe we're good. Snapping your head in the direction of the shadow, half bent overboard, you begin to approach. Okay, maybe not much human-like. Seems to take notice of you right away, raising what looks like a demented tentacle in your direction before backing away. Freeze in place without realizing it. It suddenly turns and slithers back into the dark doorway leading to the captain's quarters. Boy snaps back in reaction and you bolt after it. Just as you pass the part of the railing the thing had been hanging over, you find your feet slipping on something wet, but quickly regain your balance. Pick up speed, closing in on the shadow. Think to scream out, but your voice is stuck in your throat. Heart beats frantically with fear. What the hell was that thing? Quickly and silently, following after what you can only presume to be some monstrous creature of the night, stumble to stop as soon as you pass the door. While looking around, you find the door to the captain's chamber untouched. Every corner of the small corridor devoid of life. There's a tiny dark droplet leading to a half-open door to your left. Trailing behind, you nudge it open and find yourself back in the sleeping quarters. Relentless snoring assaults your ears again. Huffing with unease, you examine the floor for any signs of dark liquid, but find nothing. Did the creature come here? Why hasn't it caused some kind of commotion, if so? I get the feeling it's maybe hiding amongst one of the people here. Wait a few moments, viewing some kind of horror show. It doesn't come. You don't understand. Could it have been a vision? Hallucination? Or maybe you might still be dreaming. Think about pitching yourself before scowling, embarrassed at the thought. You're awake. You haven't lost your mind just yet. A few moments spent tapping your feet with indecision, you decide to return to your bed. Falling into your hammock with a frustrated sigh, you lost precious time to sleep. Cross your hands underneath your head and observe the ceiling above you. You should really get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be a long day. Whatever it was, you had to keep an eye on the dark corners of the ship in the future. Can't help but think of the droplets on the ground again. It's the strangest thing. You'd been sure they were blood. Thinking about it now, they weren't red. You only saw them for a moment. They'd be gone a few seconds later. Makes me wonder if the tentacle creature we saw earlier, or fought earlier, came aboard the ship and is now hiding amongst us. Because there'd be only one reason that thing would be bleeding, and we did hit it, so... Can't help the quiet sound of annoyance that leaves your throat. No point in getting even less rest than you're already going to. Force yourself to close your eyes. Exhale slowly, returning to the quiet void of dreamless sleep. Up and at 'em. Third in command's booming voice forces you awake. Rays of sunlight peeking through the wooden planks above. Blinking the sleep out of your eyes, you grin as you roll over. You feel the lack of sleep right away. Exhaustion so deep it weighs down your very bones. Sean Zoll, the man responsible for the wake-up call, sends a sympathetic glance your way. Looks like last night's escapade didn't go quite as unnoticed by everyone as you thought. Shuffling past the other crewmen grumbling unhappily to themselves, immediately head for the staircase to the deck. Hey, chin up, boss. Liam's enthusiastic grin nearly blinds you. Lean over the still half asleep Kostya. You have no idea where the kid gets his energy from. It's a phenomenal way to keep the crew spirits high, though. Definitely not complaining. You only wish you'd stop collecting samples from every location you visit. Men still complain about sleeping on wet rocks you collected from your last mission. I mean, at least those rocks are not something else more deadly. But alas, the kid's old hobbies can't be helped. Give him a small smile in return and shuffle up the stairs. Not surprised in the slides to find Mikhail on deck, perfectly dressed and not a single hair out of place. But how does he do it? Sure you look like death itself. Incredible how the man always looks perfectly put together. Greets you with a smile and a bow of his head, stack of papers in his hand. Lucky us, new orders, and a performance report. Express the urge to roll your eyes. So much for going home today. Or anytime soon, for that matter. Comet sure has a way of wasting your time with all this paperwork. Daughter will have to wait a bit longer after all. Sure you'll find some way to make it up to her. As to the left, the infinite horizon stretching onto its own reflection below, creating a rather brilliant, bright blue. Captain similarly embraces the silence of the early morning, allowing both of you to take a moment and appreciate the beautiful sight before you. Hustle and bustle of the day will begin shortly. Good to appreciate a calm moments like this. I get the feeling that this might be our last one for a while. Especially if we're going to be seeing more of that tentacle monster. I need to speak with you and Jean Sol in my quarters, when you have a moment. Not acknowledgingly, facing him again. Unveils the paper in his hand, turning it your way. Atop you see the name of the assignment, as well as the name of the captain, second in command and third in command. Mission report reads, 33rd Fleet Captain Mikhail... Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Name of the second in command reads... Oh, okay, we get to actually choose our name, hell yeah. Oh, you know what we gotta do? We gotta do our usual name. Hopefully it won't get us killed, you know. And the third is name of the third in command is Jean-Sol Maxine. Niles trailed down the rest of the mission report, tiny sense of worry in your face, translating to the captain in a heartbeat. Resting a hand on your shoulder, he gestures towards his chamber. Cast a glance over your shoulder, at Jean Sol, as he emerges from the crew's sleeping quarters, the rest of them trailing after him. An enormous figure towers over the rest. He makes his way quickly to the two of you. The loud yellow crewmen are eventually drowned out by the time you reach the captain's chamber. Your eyes trace the ground for any sign of the dark liquid from earlier, but find nothing. Maybe you really had hallucinated it. What the hell is that? Kale opens the door without a word, stepping aside to allow the two of you to enter. Bow your head as a quick thanks, first to walk inside. Always taken aback by the beauty of it. Pristine, every surface delicately dusted and cleaned to perfection. Normal reaction would be jealousy, compared to the filth that you and the rest of the men sleep in, but you never felt even an ounce of it towards your captain. Kale was offered his quarters to you and Jean-Sol more than a few times, not to mention the sick or injured whenever they needed a cleaner place to sleep. Know that had he not been required to attend to the beacon in this room, he would have gladly slept alongside the rest of you. Make your way to the other two, making your hand behind your back. prepare yourself for the heavy conversation you know you're about to have. The orders you received are concerning, to say the least. Richard, Sean, thank you for meeting me on this fine morning. You both gave your respective nods. It's difficult to loosen up and unlink your hands from behind your back. The rigorous training having installed in your constant sense of vigilance around your superiors. Find yourself that you're not afraid of Kale. Doesn't punish his men for minuscule errors. Doesn't punish them even when they really mess up, as long as their intuitions are good. Or intentions are good. Also bothers your captain when you put him on a pedestal. You don't need comet train to be willing to lay down your life for him. He just deserves that kind of loyalty. If you move your hands to your side, ensure that you'll give him your full attention. As we received, to be frank, unusual. I'd like to discuss with you two our next course of action. I didn't get a chance to see the report. Keller's eyes widened for a split moment, as if genuinely surprised. Then just as quickly as the shock had come, it's gone. He only hands the document to the Frenchman. My apologies, here you are. That's odd. Keller would usually share a copy with the two of you by now. He's not usually one to keep you out of the loop. Is this a tentacle monster taking on the form of our captain? Thought they crossed my mind the previous night. I don't like that, cause yeah, kind of fits what happened, why the monster disappeared and we couldn't find him. Definitely not intentionally. Wait a minute. You look completely put together physically, but curse yourself for not nursing sooner. Looks tired, troubled. Perhaps something is on his mind. Got something on your mind too. But with a bigger problem at hand, mission reports. With how low you slept in the last few days, you have to chalk it up to a trick of your mind and pray that you're right. Unless something else proves otherwise. Once Sean has glanced over the document, he hands it back with a subtle purse of his lips. Truly an acceptable reaction to the news you've gotten. Right. Seems we received a briefing on an anomaly in these waters. Yeah, I think we might have seen it yesterday. Rather high chance that it might be recognized as an SO3. Or in other words, a potential subject. You and Sean exchange a grimace, looking eyes for a moment at the word. You unfortunately hadn't been tasked with investigating it. Are there any other comet vessels in the area? Sean, to his credit, is able to let you finish the sentence before he jumps in rather heatedly. This is a rather unusual excursion for our men. They're usually tasked with investigating more well-known anomalies, not running blindly into the unknown. Kale gives the barest sigh. Seeing the responsibility lies solely with us. An unwelcoming pang of resentment towards the comet twists in your chest as at the stress they placed upon your friend. You bury it quickly, maintaining a blank facade. At least we're not dealing with a manifestation here. Don't even say the name, Richard. That gets a soft snort out of the Frenchman. You feel a touch of pride for lightening the mood. How lucky. Manifestation would be an absolute nightmare. Mine returns to the real problem at hand. Make a short debrief on this anomaly. Or may we get one? We should secure parameters surrounding the anomaly. Not our first rodeo, right, Captain? Okay, I reckon we get a short debrief. Sean hums with intrigue. Mikhail wastes no time filling you in. Limited information available to the non-record keepers suggests that the anomaly may be of higher classification than expected. However, this is not confirmed. So, we have no idea how powerful it is. Well, it can't be too powerful if we're being tasked to deal with it, alright? Comet would be more than just us if it was really bad, right? Asked the question with a pinch of humour, but falls silent. Faces of the other men in the room are now grave now. Fills you with a keen sense of unease. So where exactly is this potential subject? Captain sighs, and both you and Jean not to expect an answer. Joe will find out where it is currently hiding lies in your hands. Jean strains abruptly, a sharp look. He speaks confidently. Which is secure perimeter surrounding the anomaly. But not a shed among you. Kale turns on his heel and begins to walk. Follow me, gentlemen. Been away from the two of you, Mikhail strides toward the most delicate object in the room. A suspended golden sphere spinning soundlessly as it hovers over a sprawling map, glimmering with shifting lines and tiny glowing markers that pulse like distant stars. Beacon is the most treasured navigational device of any comet vessel. Never fails to entrance you. Here's where we're currently located. With a delicate pointer, your captain gestures to an unlabeled point on the map, taking the sharp end of the wood in his hand into the torn paper below to mark it. Do we have an exact location? Comet proposes a 500-kilometer radius. Here, John Luke quietly groaned. Normally it wouldn't be floating in the sea, would it? A small amused huff leaves the captain's mouth. Not likely. John perks up at that. So that leaves only a few places to look in that area. Correct. Right on the map below, taking it all in, focus on the area surrounding the small tear in the map, which you've identified after years of sailing as a 500-kilometer radius. There are exactly 3 locations to be explored, an additional port where the closest Comet base is located, not identified as an area of interest, but you figure it couldn't hurt to check there too. However, you're not sure if you can visit all 4 places before your designated 3-day mission period ends. Locations: Island. Desolate, uncharted island. Really barren with faint traces of past habitation. Nothing lives there now, and we're close by it. Distance: 185 kilometers. Estimated time of origin: 5 hours. Floating shipwreck. Mysterious floating wreck of an unidentified ship, thought to belong to the 6th Fleet. Any markings on it prove its allegiance to the Comet have long since withered away. Additional notes. Shipwreck is located in the epicenter of a high-risk zone. Avoided visitation during unfavorable weather conditions. So going there is risky. Distance: 444 kilometers. Hey, angel number. Maybe it could be good. Okay, estimated time of origin: 12 hours. Underwater research station. Operational research station hidden deep beneath the waves belonging to an LA government employer. Distance: 296 kilometers. Estimated time of origin: 8 hours. Comet base. Small island filled to the brim with Comet agents. Under the guise of natives and tourists, you furtively track any nearby vessels via lighthouses, underwater subs. They are not permitted to leave under any circumstance. Distance: 222 kilometers. Estimated time of origin: 6 hours. Current weather: calm. No signs of coming storm. Theoretically, you can only travel to 1 location per day. Given the fact, you should choose the order in which you visit these locations wisely. Weigh your options. Okay, where do we go? Okay, so I think we go to the shipwreck first, because it says there is no sign of a storm yet, and I think that's our best bet to check that place out first. So let's go. John immediately straightens up. Don't mean to disagree so quickly, but I don't like the idea of visiting the shipwreck. It could be our best bet to find out what's going on. Find out why it became a shipwreck. Cole remains silent, ready to hear your explanation. Troubles you about investigating it. Located in the middle of a high-risk zone, and despite the good weather, I'm not sure we would even consider getting near it. I argue we should visit it now, rather than risk doing so during less favorable weather conditions. Exactly what I'm saying. We at least now know it's good today. We don't know over the next couple of days if that gets worse, so... Makes sense. Are you sure about this? Kel's voice cuts both of you off. Find him looking intently at you. Trust you to make the correct choice. Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm doubling down on this. Sean's eyes flicker anxiously around the room. Very well. I suppose we could try that. For a few restless moments, Mikhail nods his head in John's direction. Then, large Frenchman bows quietly and exits the room, prepared to wrangle the crew into action. Captain turns to you, easing his manner that you privately attribute to your presence alone. Shall we? Put your hands onto the beacon and the golden sphere warm to the touch. We got the thing. Okay, you gotta give me more warning about those. Spinning delicately to the right, focus on an unmarked section that hovers just over the island on the map below and press a finger on it. Like magic, you feel the ship shift to accommodate the change of direction. Kel chuckles amusedly at several of the surprised yells from the deck. I'm not sure they'll ever quite get used to that. Oh, so this is kind of like our steering wheel of sorts for the ship, as well as our navigation. Lemmy and Kostya in particular complain about being pushed around. If it bothers them that much, they can abandon the ship. And do what? Swim to the nearest island? You shrug half-heartedly and smile in turn when Mikhail lets out a slightly more exaggerated laugh. That might not leave you comment with the grandest impression on me, my friend. Their opinion doesn't merit your concern. Fight back what you really want to say. Who cares what they think? I should return to the deck. Of course, thank you, Richard. Pause at the door, giving him an odd look. For what? Stares idly at the beacon, unreadable expression on his face. Then he meets your gaze, a proud twinkle in his eye. Being my second in command. Anything is catching your throat, but you offer a smile with a hasty bow in his direction before exiting the captain's chamber. 12 hours pass. Blink your eyes open and hung over the railing of the ship. Sean is beside you, tapping your shoulder with a raised eyebrow. Glancing over the edge, you take notice of a faint silver mass just above the water's surface. The sun is bright on the horizon, reflection of the sky visible on the metal surface of the wreck. Men run to and fro behind you to secure the ship. Anchor is cast. Kel appears behind you and Sean. We should investigate the upper and lower levels. Agreed. I'll go. As will I. And plenty of other men. Shake your head vehemently. Not worth getting them involved, Captain. You said it yourself. A tense silence is shared between the three of you. Tight in a circle, for their safety. Don't know how dangerous this anomaly really is. Kel nods, technically conceding to you both. Very well. Exercise caution. Will do. Three of you turn to regard the duo who have been eavesdropping on your conversation. This is no mission for troublemakers. But you won't be trouble. Being at each of you, Kostya hanging awkwardly in his grasp. Guys are too stubborn to ask for help. No need to ask for with us. That Kostya finally moves, nodding in agreement. I mean, if you guys want to get rid of these two, now is a good chance, so... We're investigating the subject together, aren't we? God, is one of them going to turn out to be the subject? And why they're so interested? Kel gives them a sour look. Investigating what? Then he glares daggers into his partner. Kostya smiles back sheepishly. You guys were listening in? Maybe. What should the crew know? None. It's a private matter. Yeah. For how long, though? Not private enough, apparently. A few quiet seconds of the slow and comfortable swing of the ship decided to break the tension. So you're willing to help, then? His face lightens up. Absolutely. Count us in. Laying on, Mikkel seems satisfied enough to leave you to it. That case, since it's a relatively easy dive, we'll have you to investigate the lower levels of the ship while we scour the upper. Go back to us in 30 minutes, no exceptions. Got your regulators ready. That's the thing that goes in their mouth, right? Nah, it goes on your dick. What? Let's get going. You're gonna row from beside the railing over the edge. You're the first to jump ship and down into the swaying rowboat below. First thing you notice the moment you swim aboard the deserted vessel is the smell. Wrinkle your nose at it, try not to gag. Kel's face is similarly contorted as he joins you. Others are climbing aboard after a few minutes. You and the captain decide to go ahead. Eyes pass over the support of the ship, the bare metal scratched and rusted. Yeah, get the feeling that some of the victims of this ship, their bodies never got recovered, yeah? Lay your hand over and trace it with your fingertips. Wonder idly, what happened to such a grand ship as this? Yeah, that's why I want you to come here, cause I'm interested to figure out what happened here, and whether it pertains to our current situation and mission. Wonder if it truly belonged to the 6th Fleet, or if that is a rumor just like every other scrap of information about this vessel. Surprisingly easy to imagine your ship like this, abandoned, destroyed. Think of the past. Why is it so easy to picture that? What the... Oh man. Oh, ew. Gross. Didn't really need to hear that. Commotion is enough to warrant your curiosity. Kel tries behind you as you approach the sounds of gagging and complaints. Oh, well there's our first buddy. Not quite prepared for what when you do see what's bothering the troublemakers. Oh. Should have warned you it's not pretty. Lying against his support beam, the hollow corpse of a man roasts in the bright sunlight. Any Kostya, get some air. Two youngsters gladly separate from the group, thankful for the chance to stop staring at the body. Got any idea what got him? You see Sean shake his head idly in your peripheral. Makes no sense. Corpse is entirely dried up, devoid of water. Huh. Interesting. Oh, he isn't in the sea, right? He's been baking in the sun. Not to this extent. Kel studies the rotting body beneath you with great curiosity. But he hasn't been here for more than a few days. Not bloated, no bruising, sounds right. This thing looks like a goddamn mummy, guys. That's just it. It's what makes no sense. Three of you stand unhappily in the sunlight, each person thinking to themselves, unsure what to say to the others. Almost look like all the water in his body got sucked out somehow. Try not to grimace, but don't quite wipe the expression from your face in time. Should we get him to the... No, don't risk touching him. Turns apparently done with piecing together the fate of the mummified John Doe in the middle of the ocean. Surprised by the sound of sputtering water and two pairs of heads peeking out the waves. Costier removes his regulator. Let me sign to you enthusiastically. Okay, layer below. Gave them a short nod before kneeling down to get a closer look. Eyes are sunken, mouth hanging open. It's an unsettling sight. Hope you won't be seeing it in your nightmares. Well, get the feeling we're gonna have even more worse encounters than this, and those ones I can't say for sure if they'll give us nightmares or not, but I would assume so. As if we make it out of here alive. Kill's right. Best not to risk getting in direct contact with a potentially anomalous body. You let me and Kostya dip underwater. You try not to feel too disappointed. Let's get going. Get to your feet and tactically let him lead you back to the ship. Been a few hours since you climbed on board. Tired but keen to share your findings. Kells is simply inclined to discuss, pacing the room out of the corner of your eye. At last, John steps into the captain's chamber. Everyone else is fed, and entertain themselves for a few hours at least. You two should really eat. Later. I'm only glad you don't have to respond. You're too pent up to eat right now. Need to discuss our findings. You two come in agreement, and you gather around the beacon. The body we found didn't look like an agent. Looked more like a researcher. Right. Sean lights up at that, his back straightening. That narrows it down, doesn't it? Researcher. Where would a researcher come from? Underwater station? Or the Comet base? Are they scientists on the surface level Comet base? Not that I know of, it's not a research station. But the underwater base is. Okay, I think I know where our next stop is. I'm glad we went to the shipwreck first then. Notice curtly. You feel a bloom of excitement in your gut. Finally. Got a lead to follow. Right. How does a researcher from an underground base show up 200 kilometers away 12 hours later? Not bloated. How does the researcher show up not waterlogged? They died underwater and were dragged. The body would show signs of drowning. You're saying they got there themselves? Possible. They were transported. How? Sean's mouth closes, delicate frown resting on his features. You have no answers to question right now. God had to find it. Figure it out. Need to know where we go next. Underwater base, right? I think it's a logical course of action. Since we know the body came from there, it might not be useful retracing its steps as trying to find where it goes next. How heavily, watching the beacon with an intense gaze. It's up to you. Don't feel right taking the responsibility, but Mikhail trusts you to make the right call. You need to trust yourself. So, yeah, they found it down that way. I'm only assuming it's going to the Met piece next, but I reckon we try and get as much information as we can about what we're dealing with. So if we find out how or why the researcher went missing, and at least we can be more prepared when and if we find the person we're looking for, the anomaly. So the underwood base thing. It's decided then. The other two step back, allowing you to take a closer look at the beacon. We're doing another thing. Lifting your hands, you point in the right direction. A few hours later, at least we can put the ship on autopilot. Found Mikkel on deck, leaning over the railing and staring out into the endless sea. The sun has just dipped underneath the horizon, leaving the sky beautifully lit by a dying radiance. Night will fall any minute now. Sail beside him, crossing your legs. Wind blows your hair idly. You notice his own locks dancing in its unseen grasp. Looks tired. Let's remain silent. If he wants to speak, he can speak up. Deck is peaceful, a strange contrast to the usual chaos of the ship. Are you nervous? That's in Mikkel's direction. Or tomorrow? Helm's in agreement. Yeah, well, a little. Are you? He hints away his answers. He lets his chin rest on an open palm, tilting his head. Not very. A bit, maybe. Considering our circumstances, I'd say that's better than most of us. Well, a much better captain than you give yourself credit for. Kel doesn't respond. Instead, you feel a hand firmly pat you across the back. You'd be a better leader than you think. That turns away and walks off towards his chamber. Don't even get a chance to respond before he's gone. I haven't even thought about commanding a warship, or any group of men really. Maybe you wouldn't be half bad. Leave it to Mikkel to make you feel good about yourself when you feel like death warmed over. Nervous about tomorrow. Want to be right about the destination you chose. But only the future can confirm whether or not you are. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Maybe it's worth seeing if you can sleep through the screaming and shouting of men convinced they're playing a rigged card game. Give the darkening horizon one last look before retreating into your sleeping quarters. Laying in your bed, exhausted. Sean had long since snoring softly. Mike's activities had ended a few hours ago. Still can't fall asleep, fortunately for you. Shadows are too enticing. Thought of catching some figure in the dark weighs heavily on you. Find yourself staring at the door in the corner. Maybe it's worth going outside for some air. Could miss someone sneaking out. Or you can miss them sneaking in. You're like a guard dog, and it's starting to get on your nerves. Enough's enough. Sleep will go up the deck. Oh, we got another choice of this again. Okay, I say fuck it and get some fresh air. I mean, it's never led us astray so far. Let your feet slide to the uncomfortably damp ground. A few steps through the door and up the stairs, you're outside. Inky black expanse of night greets your tired eyes. Take a moment to appreciate the stars twinkling playfully in the vast abyss. Good view is one of the perks of a job like this. Carefully scan the empty ship, finding nothing of interest. Maybe a shadow will pop up again like it did yesterday. Minutes pass by, heavy silence falling over you. It's eerily quiet. Then, a faint murmur. More of a rumble, really. Something deep and groaning, as if it was coming from the ship itself. Bright flash of burning light catches your eye, just over the railing. Wide awake, and rightfully anxious to approach the edge of the ship. Take a peek overboard. Uh-oh. Are we encountering a siren? That's not good for us. Below you, a bright turquoise glowing waves, radiating with blue light. You blink. Water is dark as the sky, blending into the pitch black horizon. What the hell? Words are whispers into the sea, swept away by the breeze. Blink a few more times, going as far to pinch yourself to ensure you're awake. You are. Once again, you're left feeling out of your depth, like a liability to everyone aboard. Seeing things again. Are you? It's a few less hours of sleep at this point. Might as well stay up and watch the sunrise. Change your mind before 5 minutes are even up. You'll tell Mikkel about the glowing water tomorrow. Maybe you won't. Maybe it's best you keep your crumbling sanity to yourself. Can't afford to lose your grip. The only thing that matters is your daughter, waiting patiently for your return. Can't fail this mission. Just can't. Make your way back to the sleeping quarters, hoping sleep finds you easily. It doesn't. 'Cause it never does it? Tidily lean over the railing once again. Almost at your next destination. Oh, God, that's bright. Ah, my eyes. Morning, princess. You want me to be your princess passenger? You roll your eyes. You're nearly there. Feel the ship come to a sudden halt in its place. Anchor being cast into a deep abyss. Must have reached the corners of the underwater beast. Try and still your nerves. Glancing over the edge, you take notice of dark blue waves, swaying endlessly beneath you. And men run to and fro behind you to secure the ship. Anchor is cast. Kel appears beside the two of you. We need some volunteers. Happy to go diving. So as am I. Half amusedly. Don't kid yourself, you almost drowned last time. Sean shoots you a dirty look. Much as I admire your courage, I believe Redshirt might be better fit. Sean sighs and turns his head away, but does not argue. Let's go then. Both you and Sean cast your captain an incredulous stare. What? Pardon? Kel eyes you up and down, crosses his arms. Let's get suited up. Does she have second thoughts about diving, Redshirt? You're coming too? Of course. John's face is twisted with concern. But Captain, you will be completely fine. Sean, have faith in your captain. If you really are our captain anymore. Sean stiffens at the sound of his surname, then sighs, belatedly giving his assent. Give him a sympathetic look and follow your captain to his chambers. Having thrust into a tight but not unbearably so wetsuit, as well as the proper equipment needed for a dive of this deep, comfortably waddle to the edge of the ship. Kel is not far behind you. His usually immaculate hair stuffed into the hood of the underwater suit. Ready? Are you? Very much so. Didn't answer my question, Redshirt. Closing your eyes, you let out a faint wind coat your face and soothe your nerves. Ready. Donning your mask, you don't bother looking back at the inhabitants of the ship before sprinting to the edge and jumping over the ship's railing into the freezing depths below. Water is more freezing than you could ever anticipate. Sends your body into shock, limbs stiffen and your chest contracts. Eventually the feeling passes and you're able to regain control of your extremities. Turn your head towards the other group of bubbles. You slowly fade away, revealing the form of Mikkel presenting you with an OK sign. Got him. Mimic it before diving down into the unknown. Sai is just below you, exactly 40 meters down. The eye computer is situated on your wrist. It will tell you when you reach a depth of 130 feet. At that point you will be forced to switch to Trimix, a specialized gas blend that prevents nitrogen necrosis and oxygen toxicity, ensuring your safety at greater depths. It's a fancy way of saying you won't pass out under water and drown. Try not to grimace at thoughts. Beep of the dive computer alerts you to the 130 foot mark, and you switch to a special trimix, ensuring that Mikhail does the same out of the corner of your eye. Then complete the switch to a safer air mixture, you continue your descent. Last, the underwater facility comes into view. The moment you lay your eyes on it, you immediately know that something is very wrong. It's freezing the water, even noticing Mikhail's float beside you in a similar manner of shock. Protective shield meant to defend the facility from the water pressure has an enormous hole in it, crushed underneath the weight of the sea. Uh-oh. That's not good. An explosion. The entire facility has exploded and everyone inside. A look at Mikhail tells you that he was none the wiser. Blue eyes are wide open with disbelief. Not sure you could have said something reassuring, even if you didn't have a regulator in your mouth. He's the first one to break out his stupor, slowly swimming lower into the abyss. Follow him in a daze, barely registering your surroundings. Eyes fixed ahead, mind locked on the tank at hand, willing to linger on what's ahead. Your first glimpse of the facility isn't the horrifying sight you expected. There are no bodies in the water, the scarlet red pools of blood mixed in with it. It's surprisingly empty. For a moment you dare to hope that it could have been abandoned before the explosion. I mean, it could have been. Maybe that's why the ship was out there, because they sailed out away from this place. Because they wanted to explode it because there was something else in here that they didn't want escaping, potentially. You catch sight of a pale hand floating beneath some debris, so you head away as quickly as you can. Best not to think about that right now. Okay, never mind. It's cold down here. So cold in the dark, surrounded by death and ruin. Nothing but floating wreckage as far as you can see. Painting traces of limbs that could never be freed from the unthinkable pressure of an entire sea resting on top of them. How many people have worked here? You realize faintly that your hands are uncontrollably trembling. Gaze lands on an object in the middle of the room, strangely isolated by the chaotic space. An untouched ring of metal that sits in a slit rests around what looks like a gurney. The safety struts ripped in two. Float over the scene. Catch sight of your captain's face. Oh god, that's not a good look. Pupils are contracted, his eyes unblinking, clearly having pieced something together. On the line between the gurney and the ruptured exterior of the station dome, you'd gawk. For a few moments, nothing but the sound of your regulator is heard, releasing bubbles into the water and supplying you with the air you desperately need more of right now. Something was in the gurney. Something got out of the gurney with such force that everything around it went flying, and straight through the metal dome, keeping the underwater base from collapsing under tons of pressure. Yep, I think we found the source of where our subject came from. What could have possibly done this kind of damage? The subject. Stupid question. What else could have done this? I feel the unbearable urge to get out of this place. Now. Always, Mikhail is the one to lead you away from the site. Try not to think about the hours of decompression you had to suffer through to survive your trip to the surface. Mikhail is the final one who enters the captain's chambers, looking more worn out than even yesterday. Sigh sympathetically, knowing exactly how it feels to be exhausted through and through. Mission is taking a toll. There's so many unknowns, such a large area to cover, so little info to start with. You're not sure how Comet expects you to go back home in one piece. Angrily toss aside the thought. Thinking this is what gets people killed. Can't afford to lose your grip. Get back to your daughter. Keep your head on your shoulders. Let's put together our findings. It's routine. Just get over with to figure out the next plan of action. Jesus, Mikhail. Both of you are pale. Sean looks distractedly between you. What? What is it? Mikhail eyes the map between you quietly. It's gone. John turns his head to face the captain, eyes wide. What's gone? A beat of silence, he chokes. More of a strangled laugh than anything. There's absolutely nothing amusing about it. I mean, the underwater base is gone? It was a catastrophic explosion. What? Folks' amusement is replaced by abject horror. Yet, people inside? Crushed. John looks sick. You feel sick. Oh, God. No, it didn't explode, Redshirt. You knew that yourself. You saw the gurney. Something breached the dome from the inside. That's not possible. Camden closes his eyes and you can feel him urge to put a hand between his eyebrow and pinch hard. No, it's not. But it happened. There was a hole, Sean. A hole. Like something bursted out. Something or someone in that gurney. And somehow it breached the struts holding it down. The patient, victim, monster, whatever it was escaped. Subject. Both of them turned their attention to you. Must have been, right? And the could-be subject could have done this. Silence is a tacit, painful agreement. You're one step behind. I had to find out where it went. Had to locate it as quickly as possible. Where do we start? Attention is back on you. Right, Mikhail trusts your word. Sometimes even more than his own. Responsibility isn't comforting now, though. Observe the map again, forcing every detail to sink into your memory. By this point, you're seeing it in your sleep. It doesn't hurt having a physical way to mark your future plans. Where should you visit? I'm sure you can reach both locations in time. Yeah, so we got either the abandoned island or base. I reckon the Comet base, because, I mean, if I was the subject, seeing as it has connections to the underwater station, and this, I mean, logical course of action, because why would it go to the abandoned island? Okay, there we go, I had to find my mouse. Come to your final decision. Now 2 step back, allowing you to take a closer look at the beacon. Here we go, another. Oops, I failed the QT. Okay, that one happened a lot more quicker. Maybe you should try again. Okay, there we go. Lifting your hand, you point in the direction of your final destination. A few hours later. Find your captain on the deck of the ship as usual. This time, however, he looks grave. Pale, usually sharp eyes dulled with overly frayed nerves. Here may cry from his usual composed look. It's an unusual sight. A sense of finality to it all, isn't there? I think you know what he means. There's a storm brewing on the horizon. See the dark, endless clouds coalescing in the distance, heavy, looming, ominously shifting ever closer to you. Where are you going today? Likely your final destination. And hopefully not the movie kind of final destination, because that's not going to end well for anybody. So we get the answers we need. Kale makes an affirmative hum, leaning further into the railing. This reassuring. Only pat him on the back. Kind of like what he's done to us all those times. Look so down, my friend. Rewarded a small smile, he cast tidily at the ocean, spark of life returning to his blue irises. Straightens up. Whatever you mean? Back to his usual self now. All easy smiles and sharp eyes. That's more like it. Tired of babysitting a moody captain, are you? You wish, but I am tired of the hopeless look on your face. And now we kiss. Mikova smiles slightly. It's gone now, isn't it? Good. Mikova rests his arm on the railing, gazing at the horizon with a growing smirk. That anomaly, Lemmy says, is going down. Doesn't stand a chance. We, the undefeated 33rd, are going to kick its ass. Glad to hear an airy chuckle leave him, smile having expanded into a more believable grin. Defeated her. A leader like you? Come on now, Captain. Humbleness truly knows no bounds. Jokingly elbows you. He's back. Kale, you know, not a more unsure captain you've borne witness to the last few days. Honestly, can't believe they sent us here with so little info. No, considering that my wife and your brother are in the upper echelons of the comet, I think we'd be less expendable. I don't think my brother would be too torn up if something happened to me. It baffles me just how far up your own asses you two are. Just talked, all their animosity would vanish. Told you before, you're the big brother. It's on you to say something first. Careless our short, disgruntled huff. Despite your words, a horrible, short part of you wonders if your wife still prays you come home alive. With how vehemently she has tried to raise our daughter, so lotus to commit, and how blatantly you refuse to respect that wish, things haven't been easy. With every passing day, you can feel the distance growing between you. The thoughts are interrupted by a lighthouse in the distance, light flashing through the now turbulent sea to settle on your vessel. Shore is swarmed by soldiers. The sight shoots a spike of anxiety through you. When you step out of the small rowboat, you're greeted with a group of soldiers on the beach. Salute you hastily, you return the gesture in a more leisurely fashion. Mikhail does so as well, effectively waving him down so that you are able to follow him to the enormous lighthouse in the center of the small island. Flashing lightning illuminates the ominous obelisk as it looms into the sky. Rain continues to pelt you. Turn your captain a question on your tongue. There are a lot more agents here than anticipated. I'm shown to guard the rowboat in case anyone on the island gets wise. Wish you could have brought a gun or any kind of weapon with you. Whilst setting foot in a fellow commit base while armed is strictly prohibited, for the safety of the station agents and officers. Bullshit or not, sneaking a weapon inside would be riskier than going in unarmed. As you keep pace, and before you know it, you arrive at the foot of the enormous lighthouse. Crackle static attracts your attention. Number 33. Name Captain Mikhail Raskov. Appear silence. Code 0727. Thick locked clicks. Door swings open as the crackling ceases. Opening the door, Mikhail gestures inside with an arm. You are slightly stepping past him. A spiral staircase that greets you. Take the first step ready for what could be quite a lengthy journey up. After a few moments, you can't help but cast him an odd glance. Why do you keep doing that? Doing what? Being so courteous with all us. Putting those below you before yourself. My crew is not below me. That catches your gaze. Especially you. I'm a comrade, and treat my comrades with respect. As you look up upon him, you take notice of the dark circles under his eyes. A faraway look and blatant exhaustion. You feel it too. You all feel it. Need for the tension to snap. Know that you'll be going home in one piece. That you will see your daughter again. And Mikhail will see his brother again. Maybe it's time for a distraction, but how small or meaningless. For another moment of silence, you choose to restart the conversation as you walk. Let's call a human's antidote. Go one comes to mind. Count the tale with great enthusiasm. Did I tell you about the secret story? Blonde thinks it to himself. I believe I recall it, yes. The one with the watermelons? Eyes amusedly at that. No, not that one. Grin widely, resisting the urge to clap your hands together with anticipation. Right, so my mates and I are in a convoy, going down some godforsaken road in the middle of nowhere, probably somewhere so remote that even the maps didn't bother marking it. Come across a field of watermelons on the road. We stopped to take some, obviously, so we broke orders, stole fruit and hopped back in. Amanda found us, he tore us a new one, to put it lightly. We took the blame. And the 15 days in the brig, 2 seconds later they had us scrambling to set up some wire communications. Needed to get a solid line across the convoy to relay orders. Put long story short, you knew this stuff pretty well, working your ass off to fit in does that to you. So lo and behold, we're the first to get it set up. Everyone's yelling and screaming about how someone in the convoy not setting the wires correctly, and in comes the commander. You morons, he yells. First you disrupt the convoy to steal the fruit. Now you dare to screw up the communication between vehicles. Carl's already smiling, and it has you grinning in turn, feeling confident now. Yell back at him. You were the first to have it set up. Without another word, I help out and start going along the convoy, car by car. Time he catches up to me, I pick the wires, cursed out each of the members of the vehicle and their mothers, and I'm about to start on their grandmothers when he stops me. See, these idiots had nothing set up. And, what do you know? He goes bright red. Kel lets out an audible laugh at that. I think, oh shit, this must be his group. So I backpedal right, start apologizing and the like, but he doesn't listen much. Just sends us on our way, and by the time we get to our destination, he's all but forgotten the jail time he gave me. Other than that, don't think we ever got chewed out for stopping for a snack break. Not surprised. You'd be an idiot to get on your bad side. I should smile. Wasn't a bad guy, you know. Cal returns your grin with a delighted pull of his lips. He was rather respectable, yes. Not as respectable as my current captain, I'd say, but he wasn't too bad. Kill scoffs at that, but you can tell his mood has lightened considerably. After a few moments, the reason for your antidote slowly returns to the forefront of your mind. A crack of thunder reverberates through the inside of the tower. Don't really wish to sully the light mood, but I'm not sure if you have a chance to talk to him one-on-one again before confronting the subject. Captain side-eyes you. Kill. Do you feel ready? Doesn't speak up right away, seemingly contemplating on himself, or to himself. Must know what you mean, considering how long it takes him to respond. Don't think we had the luxury of feeling ready. Just have to be. Don't think anyone could be entirely ready to confront an overly dangerous monstrosity. Closes his eyes with a deep sigh. The smile has disappeared, and you wonder if he made a mistake. Couldn't help but feel like, whatever it is, we're underestimating it. A spike of anxious energy shoots through you. I feel like we might even be playing right into their hands. Think he can sense how pale you've gotten with how quickly it continues. But that's silly, of course. Taking care of this thing was above our pay grade, we wouldn't have been sent. Still alive, aren't we? Kel nods. Then we'll figure this out. Raised a foot, misses a non-existent step. Senior Chief races the top. Before you stands a large metal door. Opens without any interjection from you. An agent on the other side lifts a hand to his temple fiercely. About to return the salute when you feel a hand brush your own, clearly keeping you in place. Clearing his throat, Mikkel speaks with an air of command. Monthly report. Quickly extending a piece of paper, the soldier returns to a salute as soon as it's taken by the captain. Goes eagle-eye scan takes briskly. 2 reports of underwater activity, sir. Primary sound wave, with a frequency of 4 Hz and an intensity of 192 decibels, detected by our hydrophone arrays at approximately 8:23 4 days prior. Second blast was a significantly lower frequency of 12 Hz, and a marked decrease in intensity was detected almost exactly 12 hours ago. Kel's eyes are still on the report. Wondering if that first one was from the underwater base. So meaning we still would have been too late even if we went to the underwater base first. Not so to find him focusing on the coordinates of the 2 locations. 4 Hz and 12 Hz events, recorded both longitudinally and latitudinally positioning. Is that all? One thing, sir. Feel Mikkel tense beside you. I've detected an increase in paranormal phenomena in the last 12 hours. Appears that an anomalous threat has either appeared or grown strong in a significantly short period of time. Be on the lookout. We'll report any suspicious findings at once. That's all. So that's kind of what's been happening to us then. It's all been paranormal shit. Feel your breath hitch in your throat. Information on the subject is sparse. Of course, these soldiers would have no clue. Comet hasn't given you or them any information, so it's become even more dangerous than the subject. You can tell from years of working beside the man that Mikkel has come to the exact conclusion. Thank you. Will that be all? Yes, sir. You're dismissed. The agent rushes to lower his hand, bows quickly, and then shuts the door. Journey to the Portland lighthouse has been in pensive silence. Thunder roars in the distance. It doesn't take long for you to crack under the pressure, rain contributing to your soured mood. 4 Hz. The research station. Yeah, figured. Enormous explosion deep beneath the waves. It's horrible, but lines up with the report. All those people. Kill doesn't have anything to say in response to that. You know, it's as painful for him as it is for you. All those scattered clues have you feeling like you're being toyed with. Beginning to suspect that you're after something intelligent enough to have you chasing its tail. What about the second boom? To that question, you can tell Mikhail has no concrete answer. Let's return to our crew. Meet his gaze and give him an affirmative bow of your head. Asked to walk into the captain's chamber. The other two stand rigidly, the air hanging heavily between them. Kale looks worse than ever. Think to yourself. Don't feel great yourself. Usually the optimist looks down. It's an ominous sight. Wish that this was just another journey with your crew. It took you 3 days to realize it isn't. Mission is anything but normal. Clues you have found feel like a breadcrumb trail, leading you on while always keeping you one step behind. Might be exactly where the Anoli wants you. Or maybe you're just being paranoid. Thought being strong and long all this time is as terrifying as it is exhausting. Want to go home. Don't even have the heart to scold yourself for letting that thought squirm its way into your mind. But alas, enough is enough. Not over yet. You need to complete the mission. Comet is depending on you. What have we found? This is it, you think. What you have is what you have. The rest, you may never get a chance to find out. Hope is enough to stop the subject, or at least contain it. This normally has been one step ahead of you at every turn. It's possible countless lives are depending on you to wrangle this threat. Captain received a report from the nearby Comet base. There were 2 reports of underwater activity in the last 96 hours. Hearing pacing around the room, your own eyes focus on the beacon. Take a moment to realize just how exhausted you are. Doesn't matter. No, when you still have to work. Not when you still have work to do. Kind of underwater activity. 2 distinct signals, both from different sources. Also, your paper suggests that Kale has taken out the report, investigating the coordinates, then moves over to the map, his fingers tracing one of the unmarked locations. First lines up perfectly with the underwater research station, just as you predicted. What hurts is in line with an immense underwater explosion. Sean, if it's possible, he'll do more at that. There's no way to survive that for all people inside. Afraid not. All the silence follows Mikhail's confirmation. How many people? How many people perished there? Second point of interest? Brent snaps back to the conversation, having almost forgotten that there was a second boom of activity. Yep, I thought so, the shipwreck. The trails are point near, but not inside one of your markers. It's too close, though, to be coincidental. Near the shipwreck. Less than a kilometer from it. Most likely implies the shipwreck, yes. That's it. That's everything you know. Now, time has come to discuss your findings. Evidence A. Report you received from Comet base detailed 2 different distinct booms of an underwater activity within 12 hours. First one was stronger and originated from the underwater research station. Second was approximately 1 kilometer from the shipwreck, which is likely related to the signal. And taken place no earlier than 96 hours ago. Both sources are linked to recent events. Shows time frame and large distance between the two locations suggests either two involved parties or a singular anomaly of higher danger level than we anticipated. Both are great options. Evidence B. How to find a corpse of unknown origin on the shipwreck. Looked as if it was one of the scientists or researcher. Right. Strangely dry considering the circumstances, as if all the water was sucked from it. It's definitely odd. Another pointing towards something unnatural happening in the area. Evidence C. Grimace at the memory of the gurney, but force yourself to recount what you saw in the depths of the obliterated research station. Dome to the research station was breached from inside. Trajectory appeared to trace a line straight from the gurney's position to the center of the main room. At least someone was attached to it before breaking free. The hell could do something like that? Something anomalous. Most obvious answer is the subject. Sean silently agrees with this subtle nod. Found out enough to suggest the anomaly you're looking for is very much real. Additionally, you have reason to suspect it is just as powerful, if not more powerful than anticipated. Clear what must be done. You have to force the subject out and defeat it. Time to put the puzzle pieces together. Behind the map between you with narrowed eyes, ready to construct your theory of past events and your plan of action. It only must have originated from here. Yeah, obviously underwater station, but where did they find it? Only then moved to the shipwreck, right? Lastly, now when they arrived at Comet Base, because I reckon, because it was said that there was a lot of paranormal activity there. It was moved from over here to here, moving towards the Comet Base, I reckon. Go and Sean give their separate hesitant nods. Sounds right, more or less. Go and use him under the table. Ow. Give your own subtle nod. Now on to the plan of action. What we gathered, the anomalous drug must be water. Makes sense. If the water is its strength, then maybe we already know its weakness. Well, it's not only strength. Its weakness is something that could counter it. The obvious recurring sign of the anomaly's presence is blue glow. Purple sludge that cause a red glow. Now, I know we haven't seen either of these. Don't know about the purple sludge. Same with the blue glow, I don't know. I'm gonna go with blue glow. Probably wrong on this. On his face suddenly lights up. Thought it was losing it. He saw it too. What? Have you seen the blue glow too, Richard? You nod. I have. So strength is water, right? Correct. Maybe its weakness is the opposite of what, like air or fire? What could be the opposite of water? Something else? Yeah, sand, mud, water. Metal? No, something else. I'm thinking fire, but no, water can be used to put out fire, so... But electricity, though. Yeah, ammunition, totally. Electricity conducts well through water. It's true, but how are we meant to harness it? Memory of the 80s movie you recently watched with your daughter comes to mind. Too bad you don't have a car. Or clock tower for that matter. Man, was not expecting Back to the Future to be referenced in a game like this, but damn, electricity is a good idea. I don't know what the hell we'd use to shock it. Unless we got lucky and a lightning strike happened to hit it dead on. That'd be nice, but relying on luck at this moment isn't going to save you. And again, who knows? Thunderstorm is certainly brewing. Know that the anomaly strength is water, and derive what could be its weakness. Also know what to look for to find it. A blue glow. Aren't those blue glows simply remnants of the anomaly's recent presence? Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Maybe that the blue glows we mentioned are residual energy left from the anomaly. That's the only color that stands out on the anomaly's body. It might be worth targeting it. Don't see why we shouldn't try attacking what could be a weak spot. Meaning, attack blue areas using the anomaly's weakness, run away as quickly as possible, tend to reason with it. I mean, yeah, I reckon this. Because running away is not going to do anything. Because the researchers tried running away and they died. I'm assuming the ones on the ship tried to reason with it and they also died, so no idea what the anomaly might be weak to. Electricity really is the anomaly's weakness. You're just going to have to hope the storm is on your side. The air calm settles around the beacon. Suddenly feel a surge of confidence rush through you, pumping your exhausted body full of energy. Many sleepless nights were worth it. Got a clear shot at defeating the anomaly. It's the end of our mission. Aye. Time to face the anomaly, my friends. Looked everywhere we can, found out everything we could. Could be prepared to take down the anomaly and succeed in our mission. If you aren't, then you've already failed. Storm outside won't let up anytime soon. Too dangerous to sail while it rages on, pinned in place for the time being. You may use the approaching thunderstorm as a distraction to catch us off guard. With how shifty and elusive the anomaly has been so far, he makes a fair point. Best to ready for the worst case scenario. Let's prepare. I'm ready, as am I. Both of them look at you. Take a sharp breath in, a long breath out. Nod your head, you let them know you're as prepared as you can be. Meet their gaze with a grim perseverance. Going to get ready for the worst case scenario. Battle with the anomaly. You feel the electricity in the air, the scent of a storm on the horizon. Sense of finality is ubiquitous. God, I cannot do big words today. Felt by every man in the room. No turning back now. You'll be with your daughter soon. This is it. Now or never. Tempest is brewing. Feel your hair standing on end. Telltale sign of an approaching thunderstorm. You, Mikhail, and John stand before your crew. Flash of lightning illuminating the faces of men you've worked with for years. Each and every single one is part of a series of memories in your mind. Part of the painting you created on the ship. They are your life. They are your blood, in a way. They will be what helps you defeat the anomaly. Discuss the methods of drawing the subject out. Couldn't think of any anything proper, not with your limited knowledge. Comrades, try not to pay too much mind of the pale faces of Lemmy and Kostya as the approaching thunderstorm roars. You pray inwardly that neither of them is hurt in the ensuing chaos, or they don't end up causing problems for us, you know. time has come for us to stand on our ground against our enemy. In the impending storm, this may be the anomaly's only real chance to strike. Be prepared to defend your brothers. A sounding chorus of affirmations echo from the men on board. There aren't as many of you on board, but if you're not enough to take down the threat, be prepared to put down yet another threat to humanity. Another angry, prideful war. Look away, your heart aching painfully at the idea of watching a man be slaughtered by a monster. You've seen it enough times, but it never gets easy. It doesn't feel real being back in those petrifying minutes before battle. Grace died any moment. We never meant to experience this again. What could Amara have sent you on a mission like this? Then prepare yourselves. A terrifying boom of thunder. Grit your teeth. Finally, you feel the very first droplets begin to fall, and something entirely unexpected happens. A flash of bright blue catches your eye. It's here. No. Have a half a second to realize it's coming from behind a soldier's silhouette. And then sent flying backwards. Everyone's caught in a whirlwind. Everything is twisting and turning and you can't see. You can't get a grip. Can hear the panic screams of your fellow men. Some drowned out by the wind and others closer still. Just want the spinning to stop. Feel something gripping you. Two bright blue eyes. Red shirt. Kill. Only thrust to your side. Captain colliding with you as you finally see something other than blue. Dark shadow rising from the edge of the ship. Yeah, I think the Kraken we met earlier is coming back to, finish business with us. See you, Richard. That's the... Whatever he was gonna say, you never hear it. Look at his soul, Mikhail rolls into the abyss. Fire. Sounds of gunshots and screams echo through the night. Boys meet the massive dark piercing it, tearing it apart. Oh, hello. Finally get a good look at you. Yet no matter how many bullets you spare, it only seems to grow. It doesn't deter you. Deafening boom of cannon shot leaves you disoriented for a moment before realizing with a grin, trying a hole straight through the beast. It doesn't do much to deter it. In fact, it seems to grow only angrier. Men continue to fire against the beast, come to an aching realization. You can't simply stop the rain. But you can exploit the anomalous weakness and attack its core. They have to find the weak spot. Find the center of the beast's body, take a sharp breath. Pulsates blue now and again. You have to focus your fire. Rushing over the nearest cannon, you grab hold of it and aim high. Here's to hoping the storm really is on your side. For all or nothing. Oh, okay, oh shit, I wasn't expecting it to actually, give me a quick time event there. Flash of lightning illuminates the creature before you. Beast lets out an ear-piercing roar as the cannonball tears through the glowing blue core. Right. As if dictated by the gods themselves, lightning seems to have struck near enough to weaken the creature. The cannonball was much stronger than any other rifles. Blasted through the creature's core. Now you just have to keep firing. Blue grow on the creature's weak spot. Aim for blue. Got a good feeling about the next strike. Just one more hit. On there. No. I missed it? Ayo. On. Ah, there we go, got it. Cannon tears through the creature's glowing core. Yeah, I may have cheesed and rewound it back, cause fuck that, cause didn't realize I had to be pinprick precise. Cannon tears through the creature's glowing core. Then with one final screech it collapses into the waves. The core is left silent for a few heart-stopping moments, then piercing your eardrums and permitting the eerie stillness. I the railing with disbelief. It worked? It actually worked. Then was a victory erupt. Sean is the first to sweep you up onto a brace, alongside Mikhail, who allows himself to be handled into a proper group hug. Oh, cute. At least all three of us survived, so yay. Can't wipe the smile off your face. You've done it. Yeah, we'll just ignore the alternate reality that I may have just created by accidentally missing, even though I didn't realize I had to be pinprick precise on it. You actually done it. Tracked down the subject and defeated it. Mission complete. Hold them both tighter than you ever had before. The man Kostya's voice I heard above the rest, screaming and singing their own made-up silly tunes that they never sounded more like music to your ears. Hey, they actually survived somehow. You're safe. Going to see your daughter again. Finally going home. Hell yeah. 3 months later. Beach is surprisingly warm today. It's quite dawn, but this time you aren't quite as alone as you thought. Hey. Friend's voice greets you softly. Has been your captain since the incident. Memories from that night rise up in your mind. You breathe a sigh of relief. There were many sleepless nights and a constant fear of failure. But you had been victorious in the end. Hand on your back brings you back to the present, to the soft warm sand beneath your feet. Sun baths you, calm tide of the ocean playfully lapping against the shore. Daydreaming again? Yeah, daydream, us kissing, us having potentially a three-way, you know how it is. Reminiscing more like. It's a comfortable silence. It doesn't last. Suddenly Jean restlessly shifts in place. Keep thinking about all those clues we found. Two of them turn to face him. Man is restlessly fidgeting, drawing small cartoonish patterns in the sand. It's cute seeing Lemmy and Kostya's habits reflect on the older man. The clues? Didn't they feel... I don't know, time mission, the whole thing. Didn't feel right. Heart leaps in your throat. Can feel the blonde man beside you tense up in return. You had this thought before. Been this ominous feeling hanging over you the last night of the mission. Meaning that you'd been strung along by the enemy. You even fed the clues you had found. But you defeated the anomaly in the end. Blasted that cannibal into its glowing core and killed it. Or did you? The creature that you faced, the same one that had left that trail of evidence you had collected over the course of 3 days. Same evidence that always left you feeling one step behind. Like you were dealing with something far smarter than you gave it credit for. Now that you really think about it, Sean might be right. It's almost like it was too easy. It did feel too easy, didn't it? Till you face your ex-captain. Remember the bags under his eyes. Persistent, subtle frown. Feeling that something was constantly weighing on his mind. He was keeping something from you. As Captain keeps his eyes trained to the ocean. Kill. and sighs tightly, letting his feet stretch into the warm sea. It's possible. There may be very well have been something greater at play. She rises with a new intensity. What does it matter now? It's done is done. Mission is over. Don't have to worry about it anymore. Do we deserve to rest? Not worry about some nebulous threat that could have killed us but didn't. The tension thickened between the three of you. There's a point, of course. It does, but the so-called nebulous threat does exist. Or the same thing that likely had a greater hand in leaving that trail of clues is still out there. But even if it is, nothing to be done about it now, right? Been months since then. Who knows? Maybe there really wasn't anything else at play. Maybe you're all just paranoid, battle-hardened men that have dealt with too many terrors for too long. I suppose it's not really up to us anymore. Kel loosely pats both of your shoulders. We did our part. Just had to tell the comet, or let the comet handle the rest. Maybe he's right. Done enough, haven't you? Got bigger things to worry about now, anyway. Like your family life. Daughter's 5th birthday party. How are you meant to convince your wife that scuba adventure is perfectly safe? Oh god. Oh god. We're gonna lose our kid, aren't we? Kel lets out a heavy breath, tenseness in his shoulders dissipating in the sunlight. Tension that had been permitted, the air slowly dissolves, leaving exhaustion in its place. Comet will handle the rest. So, what's next? Pace lightens up at the thought of the little treasure waiting for you at home. Bill's been dying to see the two of you again. Kel howls musically, shaking his head. Doubt we make good company. Says you. Says me too. Try not to roll your eyes in exasperation. Well, I do care. Lucky for you, 2 good positions have just opened up. I am not uncle material. Actually, I think you are. You're supposed to be on my side, bastard. Bickering fills the calm, beautiful summer day. Let out a heavy breath. Russ swells with relief at their presence. Comet has been kind enough to grant the 3 of you temporary leave. May luck, you'll have a couple of years to spend with your daughter and your closest friends before duty calls again. But even then, corporate approval just doesn't matter anymore. Got a new mission ahead of you. Put your daughter first, and finally allow yourself the one thing you've been afraid to pursue. To live peacefully. To be happy. But the adventure won't end here. After all, the 33rd wouldn't be complete without the captain, 2nd in command, and 3rd in command together. Even after everything, High Tide will always call you. Okay, that was kinda cool. I liked that. That was very interesting. Very, very interesting. But I'm going to leave this here for you guys, as I know there are 4 other endings to get, so you guys can go find them out yourself and go support the dev, as the link to the game Steam page will be in the description below. But yeah, this is really cool. As far as I know, there are a couple of other games in this series, so I'm definitely up for checking those out in the near future, because if they're any good as this one, then hell yeah, I'm definitely down for playing it. And I'm excited to see what this dev team have in store. Oh, wait, said there, 1 more to go. Ooh, okay. well, I'll definitely be playing that as well when that comes out, because I'm definitely here for all the lore and stuff that's going on in this world, because I was definitely ripe with it, and I'm here for the story, because I love me a good story. But yeah, ending 4 out of 5 achieved. Current runtime 3 hours. Yeah. I did take a couple of extra breaks in between there, so it probably will get cut down quite a bit, but for those seeking more can check out the extras. Okay, endings, concept art, credits. Okay, that just opens up to a web page, but yeah, you guys can go check that out for yourself if you wish to get the game for yourself. But yeah, overall, very much enjoyed this, and I look forward to what the dev team have in store for us in the future, because yeah, I'm very excited about it. But yeah, I guess we'll be ending it here, and hopefully won't haven't started the like end of the world or anything after killing that Eldritch Moonlord looking creature.